me, Oddworld Abe's Exoddus, with its tragic, dark story, countered by its sarcastic wit and dry humour, captures a kind of storytelling magic that I'm yet to find in any other franchise. It's a game that acknowledges the tyranny of corporate greed and societal hierarchies, which are topics that, on paper, sound incredibly boring. Yet this game somehow manages to mesh these dark political themes with the whimsical, timeless slapstick of, haha, fart go. This absolute treasure trove of puzzles, death, stealth, death, action, and, well, death, takes the bare bones of its fantastic predecessor and adds even more new and tasty meat to those bones to deliver an unforgettable banquet of platforming, puzzle solving, and constant abuse of the quick save feature that will leave you begging for another plateful. Hello, my name is Liam Edwards. You can find me on YouTube and Twitch and basically everywhere as Ace Trainer Liam, and today I'm going to tell you what Oddworld Abe's Exoddus means to me.
In case it was too cheap to purchase our last game, let me tell you a bit about what happened. It was all about this Abe guy that worked in this dumb meat factory called Rupture Farms. The place was run by gluckins, and they was on the verge of going out of business. They had already chopped up all the wild creatures, so now they had no choice but to chop up Abe and his buddies too. We gave Abe the ability to talk, so he could do the right thing and rescue his pals.
Hello, follow me, okay.
But some people didn't care about doing the right thing.
Hello. Oops.
I first played Abe's Exoddus not long after its original release, so it must have been around late 1998, so not long after my 10th birthday. I watched one of my friends play through it initially, and they kindly offered to let me borrow it in exchange for borrowing one of my games. Ha ha ha, I hope you enjoyed Lucky Luke, Sean, cause it's bloody rubbish. I'd already played the previous game, Abe's Odyssey, to death, so I had a pretty good understanding for what to expect. Especially since poor Oddworld inhabitants, the game's developers, had been forced by publishers GT Interactive to make this sequel in just 9 months. Meaning they basically had to just use the existing Abe's Odyssey game engine and add new features. The best way I've heard it described is it's almost like DLC for Abe's Odyssey, but without any downloading involved, and a long time before most of us had the internet at home. Abe's Exoddus hit all the right notes though, while improving on the Abe's Odyssey format. The puzzles were challenging but not impossible, the enemies were relentless but not infallible, and the story was simple yet somehow still very fleshed out, as well as very, very dark for a 90s platformer. Allow me to point you in the direction of blind Mudokons being forced to dig up their own ancestors' bones with their eyes sewn shut.
Boy, take the something to drink!
Don't drink that,
Why not?
cause if brew's made by gluckins, it's probably bad for you.
What a wuss.
I hear you.
Look, Abe, we came all this way just to help you.
Well, but
It's not unreasonable that we are just a little bit thirsty. Now is it?
yeah, but
In case you didn't notice, we just walked across a desert.
So back off, Stitch Lips.
no.
Now, whilst my introduction to Oddworld Abe's Exoddus didn't coincide with a significant part of my childhood, I was just a regular 10-year-old at the time enjoying my favourite PS1 game, my love for this game would go on to have a significant impact on my life. I was such a huge fan of this game that as an adult I decided to get sleeve tattoos featuring several characters from the Oddworld franchise, which one day caught the attention of Oddworld inhabitants themselves. This in turn opened up a line of communication that resulted in me getting my first ever voice acting role, that being as a slig newscaster in the reimagining of Abe's Exoddus Oddworld Soulstorm.
Insurance scam, Gluckin style. By now, we've all heard the rumors of how Mullet the Gluck Schmuck is laying blame on this poor Abe guy. A former employee of the month, Abe is now just a smoldering pile of bones. Although we are still waiting to verify his death. More details to follow.
Having my voice in the remake of my favourite game ever is definitely one of the coolest things I will ever accomplish in my life, and I have Abe's Exoddus to thank for that.
Bone production down. The Magog on the march. News you can use. Director Flegg reports bone production down. Ow!
It ain't my fault. It's that Abe guy. First rupture thumbs, now necromines. There ain't no bones anywhere. No bones, no brew. I am totally screwed. My career is over. And it's all that blue bastard's fault.
Blah, blah, blah. Brought to you by Scrap Cakes. They'll cost you an arm and a leg.
The thing that gave Oddworld Abe's Exoddus the edge over the original Abe's Odyssey was the added dialogue within the game's cutscenes, which allowed the characters within the Oddworld world to really come to life. From the wholesome Mudokons to the sassy Sligs, including the unforgettable Magog on the March news report Slig, to the three very different personalities of each of the Gluckons who you have to conquer on your way to reach Soulstorm Brewery. Director Flegg, the whiny, career-conscious head of the Boneworks, General Drippick, the dopey head of the Slig Barracks, and Vice President Aslick, yes, Aslick, the calm and collected but slightly unhinged controller of the Fico Depot, who all share the same goal, to crush Abe and end his uprising, but all feel so unique and really help flesh out this meaty story.
Hey, this is Director Flag.
Yes, sir.
Disengage Operation Lightning Bolt.
Huh? What?
Disarm the main gates.
Oh.
Do it, you idiot.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, there it is. Orders is orders.
My absolute favourite thing about Oddworld Abe's Exoddus is the expanded possession options. In Abe's Odyssey, you had the ability to possess the Sligs, the gun-toting creatures assigned to prevent any Mudokons from escaping at any cost. Even killing them, which doesn't always make sense, but sure, go off, lads. But in Abe's Exoddus, you were not only given the ability to possess Sligs, and the new flying Sligs with mini helicopters instead of legs, but also the wild creatures like Scrabs and Paramites, each with their own puzzle-solving uses, and also the Gluckon VIPs who could order the lowly Sligs to do their, or I suppose your, bidding. This just opened up a whole new array of puzzles to solve, be it controlling a Scrab and fighting other Scrabs for dominance, controlling a Paramite and leading fellow Paramites to gobble up Fleechers, or taking over the mind of a Gluckon and forcing poor Sligs to gun down their own pet Slogs. And their puppies. Sloggies too. Told you it was a dark game. I really do need to mention as well that the iconic art design that made Abe's Odyssey so captivating to look at returns in Abe's Exoddus with even more beautifully crafted environments for Abe to make his way through. From the torrid industrial settings such as the Necrom Mines and the Slig Barracks to the gorgeous natural areas like the Mudanchi and Mudamo Vaults. Every area of this game boasts some of the most gorgeous art design of the late 90s and does an incredible job of setting the tone and atmosphere throughout Abe's journey.
I'm telling you, it's that Abe guy. Sell, dump it, lose it, get rid of me. I work hard.
What if it gets to the boiler?
The boiler?
The boiler?
What are we going to do?
The boiler!
What are we going to do?
Yeah.
I've definitely lost count of just how many times I've played this game. It has to be upwards of 20 to 25. Hell, I think I've even streamed the entire game twice, and at the end of 2020 I even did a full playthrough on my YouTube channel, so I'm probably due to start it again any day now.
No, and improved.
Well, what is it?
Don't think, drink. Ah, come on, do it.
Okay.
At first, the Gluckons gave their brew away.
Oh, tasty.
In short, Abe's Exoddus is a game with a personality unlike any other. It takes its gloomy and deep themes and injects a healthy dose of slapstick and cynicism whilst continuing the previous game's message that even the most mild-mannered former employee of the month can bring freedom to his entire people. You'll find yourself eager to save all 290 plus Mudokons whilst also splitting sides at the number of times you, accidentally, get 1 or 2 or 6 of them killed in a variety of hilariously unfortunate ways. At times you'll laugh at this fun and endearing adventure, and at other times you'll be absolutely raging beyond compare at the part you've been stuck on for an hour and a half because why the hell did anyone invent Fleechers? Plus, it's one of those games you can find on Steam for literally like £1.99, so it costs less to give this a try than your average cheeseburger, and it probably contains more actual meat too. And that is what Oddworld Abe's Exoddus means to me.